how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is another 3 looks with 3 palettes. I have 3 very fun, very different palettes here to share with you. These have all released over the last, I don't know, anywhere between fairly recently to a few months ago, but they're all new to me and I'm very excited about it. As always in this type of video, I'm going to be giving you close-ups, swatches, all that good stuff. I will be doing 1 look with each palette, and I do intend on doing additional looks on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Some of those looks might have already been rolling out. If not, they're coming very soon. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just excited to hop in. I love doing these kinds of videos. I feel like you love these kinds of videos too. It's just such a fun way to just play with lots of palettes at once, and we're gonna have a great time. So let's get into what I'm gonna be playing with in this video. First being the new Ensley Reign What the Fox palette. This is the newest palette in their little mini critters series. This one is obviously fox themed, and this is my favorite of the series so far. I love these tones. It's very wintry, very just like muted, rich. It is so good. We have the 4 mattes, the 2 really pretty shifty shimmers. I love this so much. It's honestly going to be hard to beat this one. I gotta be honest. This one's just so fun. I love the way all these different tones play together. I love that you can kind of mix and match, or you can go very warm, or you can go very cool. You kind of have different options here, and I really appreciate that about this one. And like I said, all the palettes I'm going to talk about today have already launched, so I'll have all the palettes linked in my description box, as well as any discount codes if I have any. Next, I have the Tales of Terror palette from Wicked Widow Beauty. I am so excited. This obviously is a Halloween palette. I believe it launched back in October, but the pre-orders and PR packages and stuff like that shipped out more recently, and I'm so excited about it. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. This is probably one of my favorite Halloween palettes I've ever seen. I feel like it takes those quintessential Halloween colors, but turns it into something so much more than that. And I feel like this is absolutely something you could play with outside of Halloween as well. And I mean, you know me, I love Halloween always, so this is just screaming to my soul. The shimmers are just so gorgeous. I'm really excited about this one. And last but not least is the Adept Unity palette. I purchased this recently. It launched, I want to say over the summer or maybe early fall, something like that. But I just got my hands on it recently and I'm so excited. I've been eyeing this ever since it launched and it's finally here. I love these very muted, grungy garden toned mattes and all these really pretty shifty shimmers. I feel like this is another palette where you can kind of lean into one tone more than the other. You could make this more of a neutral tone down situation if you want, or you can go very loud and colorful like I did today. I just think this is so cool. I love Adept's quality. I love Adept's formulas. I'm slowly adding more and more Adept palettes into my collection. And I'm so happy to have added this one into mine. So yeah, those are the 3 palettes I'm going to be playing with. Again, I'm doing 1 look with each. I went with very different vibes for each look, honestly. And at the end, I will give you my thoughts so far on these palettes. Okay, hi, let's get into look number 1. It's gonna be with the Ensley Reign What the Fox palette. It launched probably recently by the time this video goes up. I have already played with this once on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and I loved the look I created, but I definitely wanted to do another look here on my main channel. So that's what I'm gonna do. For the other look that I did, I very much focused on these tones on the lid. I today really want to play with the blues and greens. I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling it in my soul. I want to do kind of a big graphic wing with the blues and greens with maybe the shimmer topped over it. I want to play with graphic liner and crystals. It's going to be kind of an explosion happening. And it's going to be very fun. I'm going to start by just priming with my Profusion primer. I'm just going to take a little dollop of this and blend it out and we will get going. I'm very excited. I have such a vision in my mind of what I want this look to be, and I hope it turns out. Okay, so like I said, I want to do kind of a graphic situation with my shadows. So I want it to be the bluer one, Forest Fox on the outside, and then Sly Fox on the inner half. And then I am going to top this really pretty shifty, sparkly situation over top of it. I think I'm going to kind of do both at the same time because I want to be able to kind of connect and create my situation. So I'm going to start with the blue Forest Fox. I'm going to start with this little Blend Bunny E06 brush, just a teeny little angle. I don't usually do it like this. Usually if I'm going to do a big graphic situation, I do it with liner and shimmer. I don't usually just go in with a matte shadow, but that's kind of what I wanted to do today. And maybe if you're someone who has maybe wanted to try doing a giant shadowy wing like I do, but you're scared, shadow can be a little bit of an easier way to go about it. It's a little more forgiving. Like even now, like I want to bring this up a little bit higher to kind of go with the shape of my eye a little bit better. But this is where I'm going to stop now and then take a flatter brush, taking Sly Fox that green on this Fantasy Cosmetica E03. And I'm going to take and like really pop this close to like deep in my crease, kind of creating a really solid line there. And now that I have that about halfway across, now I can really see where I want the blue to end. I'm even going to start where that green is and sort of follow and connect it. And like I said, shadow is a bit more forgiving than liner, so you can kind of like move things around a little bit easier. So kind of like that is what I want my general shape to be. I'm going to take this little angled Unearthly brush with more of the blue so that I can, you know, cover a little bit more surface area faster. But I'm just going to fill in the outer half with the blue. I really like how just saturated and pigmented this matte is. I mean, both of them really, they're so easy to work with. I'm also gonna take and kind of smudge a little of that blue underneath the outer third of my lower lash line. Kind of like that. I'll grab some more of the green Sly Fox and do the same for the front half. Just really pack it on and get that nice and saturated. Now I just want to kind of make sure I have a good blend between the blue and green, so I'm just going to kind of go back and forth with the two brushes and get them to merge together nicely. And I mean, that's pretty great. I love that. And then especially once I put the shimmer on top of it, I'm going to kind of dip into both shades really quick. Once I put the shimmer on top of it, it'll really just like help melt everything together. But that's gorgeous. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm going to take just the teensiest, weensiest bit more of the blue on this blending brush from Singe, and just very lightly and softly blend just a little bit in that outer area, just to, I keep saying soft, but to soften it just a little bit before I continue. Okay, I think that's as close as that is gonna get to symmetrical. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I'm gonna take Clever now. This is gonna go all over everything I just did and go in my inner corner. So, you know, I'm just gonna start with my inner corner because why not? If you're recreating this and don't want the shimmer all over, this is what it would look like if you just did the inner corner. That's a lot of shimmer. I need to blend that out. My goodness. It's a very, very, very pigmented, glowy shimmer shade. If you can't tell, I'm just gonna kind of scoot that. Goodness gracious. It's very pigmented. It's so pretty. So now I truly just want like a very light dusting of it. I'm just gonna take another Fantasy Cosmetica brush. This is the E06. I'm tapping it off like crazy because I don't want a lot. I just want like a little, like a glowy topper. So just gonna grab little bits at a time and just kind of place it right over top of everything I just did. I think it's gonna be so pretty. Yeah, I really like that. I think that looks so good. And I wanted to try to use this palette in a very, I don't know, creative way. Like it's very easy to just, you know, throw some mattes, throw a shimmer, but I wanted to do something a little different. I think that is so cool. I love that a lot. And again, if you wanted to recreate this, but you don't want to do like the graphic liner and all the things that I'm about to add, you could stop here. But I do want to add a little bit of graphic liner. I thought this one would be fun. It's called Enchanted by Gavissi. It's like a water activated liner. And I just want to very lightly kind of trace the outside of the wing. I just think it'll be cool. Part of me thinks like, no, Betty Jean, stop here. But the other part of me is like, do it, do it, do it. So I just added in some water to this product and I'm using a little Gavissi brush. This is a GV08. And I'm just gonna stir this around until it's pretty activated. It becomes a little bit thicker, but not too thick. You don't want it too thick, but you also don't want it too watery. And when it's like a good, just creamy consistency, it's ready to go. See, I'm pretty happy with like this consistency right here. So I'm just gonna wipe a good amount off, honestly. And I do find the duochrome, like water activated liners are very easy to work with compared to the opaque ones. So let's just see how steady my hand can be. So I'm gonna very lightly, again, just sort of trace the outside of this. I'm gonna kind of go up from the bottom now and then just sort of connect it all in the tail. Kind of like that. Like it didn't even really change that much, honestly, but it just kind of like added a little extra something that I wanted. I feel like it's those little details that make a big difference. Okay, yes, I'm loving that. I think that came out so cool. So now I want to add face crystals. This is just a little sheet from an Amazon set, and I'm basically just gonna take like different sized ones and stick them around like the perimeter area. Not like in a perfect order, like I just want kind of sporadically, kind of everywhere. Like maybe I'll put like I don't know, maybe a couple out here, a couple in the front. I am gonna use lash glue with these. They are self-adhesive, but I feel like they fall off immediately. They're not a very good self-adhesive situation. So let's see, I'm just gonna start like maybe up here. And then I'll put like one next to it right there. I have a fairly large one there, and then I want to take a teeny one. Kind of like that. And I just want to like add a few more throughout. So I'm just going to do that really quick. Okay, I love the way that came out. I just think all of these like little gems. I feel like a winter fairy. It's so cute. I did throw in my eye pencil. This is Limelight from Kaleidos, just kind of like a blue-green multi-chrome. It was meant to be. I did do my mascara as well. This is the Glossier mascara. And for lips, I almost feel like a brown is what I want. So let's try this one. This is Grim from Black Moon. Do I want this? Ooh, you know what? I do. That's a great choice. That is such a pretty color. Oh yeah. That was perfect. Well, this is look number 1. I hope you like it. I think it came out so cool. I just feel so pretty. It's giving like winter fairy, winter witch, winter sorceress. I just love it. It's so enchanting and so cool. I love the way that shimmer looks across those mattes. That is so pretty. I love everything about this, and I hope you do too. Let's move on now to the second look. Okay, let's get into look number 2. I want to play with the Wicked Widow Beauty Tales of Terror palette. I'm very excited. This was their Halloween release, but packages and PR and stuff like that came out later, and now I'm playing with it. I definitely want to play with this blue, and I'm really attracted to this purple, so I'm thinking something kind of smoky, bluey, purpley. I'm also really into this very like, I don't know, textured, shimmery brown, so maybe a smoked out brown lower lash would be cool. I think that's what I'm feeling today. As far as my accessories go, I don't have a lot going on. I do have these earrings though. These used to be plugs. I want to say from Hear No Evil jewelry that I turned into earrings, and that's about it. So let's dive in and start playing. I'm gonna start by priming with my Profusion primer. Just gonna take a little dabble of that and blend it across my lids. So I think I want to start with Flickering Lights, that beautiful purple. It's so cute. I'm gonna use this Sigma E25 brush. Gonna tap that off a little bit. And I want to focus this in the outer corner of my lid. And just kind of put a little splotch of it down. I'm going to do the same to that outer corner of the lower lash and just kind of connect those. Just so we have like a very heavy kind of purple moment going on out here. I'm just going to take a clean blending brush. This one's from Kaleidos. And I'm just going to use this clean brush to blend the edges of this purple. So I don't really want to incorporate like the brownie shade to blend this out. I really just want it to stay very purple. So I'm just going to soften the edges with itself and get that nice and diffused before I deepen it up more. I'm going to deepen up a little bit with Autumn Dreams. I'm going to use this little Fantasy Cosmetica E02 brush, and I just want to put this really tight against like my lower lashes, or the outer corner of my lashes, like at the base of the lashes. And just kind of flick it upward into that purple that I already laid down. And again, I'll do the same with that lower lash line, kind of similar to what I did for the first step, just keeping it a little bit tighter than that first purple. And then I'll just kind of go in with that first brush. I'm not even grabbing any additional product because I don't think it's necessary. These purples are very pigmented. And I'm going to just kind of blend the edge of that and get them kind of merged together nicely. And just for fun, I'll just kind of blend the edge of this whole situation one more time with that Kaleidos brush. I'm really liking this so far. I think this is going really well. I'm going to take my shimmer primer now, these Shine On between Clionadh and Bad to the Brow. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this, mostly focused in the front of my eye, but I'm going to grab like, you know, a brush. This is an E55 from Sigma, and just kind of tap it out and kind of blend it in toward all those mattes. I am going to start with Spooky Nights, that kind of shifty purple. I think it's so pretty. Just going to grab it on that same brush, and I'm going to really cover that whole front area that's pretty blank. I am going to leave some space kind of merged between the shimmer and the mattes where I'm going to place the dark blue, but I do want this purple to take over a lot of what's going on. I just want a really enchanting purple look today. I like that so much. That's such a pretty color. This is such a beautiful palette so far. So now I am going to take October Ghosts. It's a really pretty kind of blue purple shift. I'm going to use this smaller brush. This one's from Gavissi. And I'm just going to pack it kind of in that outer corner where like the shimmer is merging into the mattes. Oh yeah, you can already see that. It just adds such a pretty element of dimension. Oh yeah, I feel like having that in there versus not is a big deal. I think that's such a good combination. I like that so much. So I want to smoke out the lower lash line and kind of play with that brown smokiness that I mentioned. So I'm going to take this pencil. What are you called? This is Milano from Gen C. Do you see Clionadh back here? Are you kidding me right now? Girl, what are you doing? I'm just gonna get this super coated and covered in color. And I'm gonna take 31 and use this little pencil brush, the Blend Bunny L03, and I just wanna smoke this brown out with that shadow. Keeping it very, very tight. I don't want the brown to take over. I just want it to add some extra depth. And then I'm just gonna use like my previous brushes with a little bit more purple just to help kind of seal the deal, blend it out some more. I'm liking this extra smoky lower lash line. I think that's so pretty. And now I am gonna take Silent Soul. I'm gonna use that same pencil brush. I just wiped it off first. And I wanna pop some of this in like that front little pocket of that lower lash line just to give a little extra something. I feel like you know me well enough. I just love some shimmer on the lower lash. I just think it's so pretty. I feel like that added so much. That is gorgeous. And for the inner corner, I'm really wanting to use Dark Void. It kind of goes from like a turquoise into a bright green. It's hard to show the shift, but you'll see. And I think it'll be a cool little addition to this look. This is a Clionadh and Bad to the Brow brush. Let's just pop that in there. Whoa. Little goes a long way with that. That's very cool. Just gonna blend that out a smidge. I really like that combination. That's gorgeous. Okay, throw on my mascara. I just used my Glossier one again, and I threw on some face crystals. I wanted just like a couple accents of blue, because even though the blue isn't prominent, it's still there a little bit, and I really think that the blue gems kind of do something, and I did add teeny ones that are kind of mint colored to kind of go with the inner corner, and I thought it was cute, so. That's the vibe. For my lips, I might end up changing my mind once I see it, but I kind of want something like brownish, berryish. I feel like that'll kind of go with that lower lash line. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see how it turns out. This is number 6 pencil from Freck. I'm just gonna start by lining and kind of blending it in a good bit. Figured starting off with just like a nice brown was the way to go. Okay, so I have that kind of lined, and then I just kind of blurred and lightly filled in toward the center. So now I'm gonna take this gloss. This is one of the NYX Butter Gloss Blings. This is the shade Hustla. We'll see how this goes. I definitely like this lip pencil. So we'll see how I feel about this gloss color. Oh yeah. Oh, I think that looks good. I like that a lot. It is so pretty. I feel like that flatters that lower lash line so nicely. Oh, I think that looks so good. I feel like that contrast is so nice. So yeah, here's look number 2. I think it came out so good. I really like just this very glowy purple vibe. I love that pop of mint in the inner corner. I love kind of the way that lower lash line and lip balances. I think this came out so nice. This palette was lovely to work with. Let's move on now though to look number 3. Okay, let's get into look number 3. I'm still like not ready for the day yet. I wanted to do my makeup first today, so we're just gonna dive in for the third and final look, the Unity palette. I'm so excited. This is absolutely gorgeous. These tones are so pretty. I want to do something. Oh, I'm just really attracted to these berry magentas. I know I played with berries in look number 2, but I'm just really attracted to it again. So I do want to play with some of the berries and magentas. I do want to play with this kind of like shifty, weird gold in the center. I want to do a half cut crease, I think. It's just all going to be fun. I'm going to, of course, start by priming with my Profusion pigment base. I am just going to take a little dollop and blend it out. I'm so excited that I have this palette now. I treated myself to it around Black Friday because the duo with this and the blush palette was discounted even more than usual, so that was wonderful. Let's dive into this palette now. I think I just want to go right in with that hot pink. Live a Little. I'm gonna use this E45 from Sigma. I'm just gonna tuck this nice and tight in that crease and do kind of a good, you know, windshield wiper back and forth sort of motion. Take it toward my tail. Just kind of fluff that out here just a little bit. And I will also take this on that lower lash line and kind of drag it into that outer corner as well. I'm just gonna kind of fluff it toward that tail. Now I'm going to take Mauve's Mist. I'm gonna use this big fluffy brush, the E45 Max from Sigma. And I'm just going to kind of repeat what I just did. I'm just being a little more fluffy and blendy with it. Just kind of blowing this all out a lot more, but keeping that same general shape and structure. I really like that pinky vibe. That's so pretty. I just get so into like vibrant, rich pinks and berries in the winter. I don't know what it is. It gets me every time. Okay, let's deepen up a little bit more before we start doing some cut creasey stuff. I'm gonna take a balanced brown. I'm gonna use this Blend Bunny B1 brush, and I am gonna like just add a lot of depth to this outer corner. But I do also want to drag it through that crease. And again, I am going to be doing a half cut. So I'm just kind of trying to like mimic the outline of that shape and like what that's going to be once I actually cut it and add the shimmer. And again, I want to take this on that lower lash line and just get that really smokified. And basically, I'm just going to go through with my previous brushes. I'm not even really grabbing any additional product because I don't think it's necessary. And I'm just going to blend the edges of all of that again and just kind of repeat that process, make sure everything is super blendy before I go in with all my shimmers, which I'm very excited for. I feel like Adept shimmers are just so unreal. It's always so much fun. Okay, going in with my Shine On Shimmer Primer from Clionadh and Bad to the Brow. Just going to just kind of slather some of this across the front part of my lid. And then I'm gonna take a flat brush. This is an Unearthly 8-8. And I'm just gonna kind of go deep in there and kind of carve out where I want that half cut crease to be. I'm just kind of stopping it right where things really deepen up in that outer corner. And just kind of getting a nice little shape going on. So I want to use two shimmers as I do. I want Rose Orchid kind of in that outer part of my lid, but I do want the Peaceful Path really overtaking a lot of that front. I think it's going to be a really cool contrast. I think I'm actually going to start with the Peaceful Path, and I'm just going to start laying that down. Oh, I'm already excited. I'm just kind of following that initial cut section, and then I'll kind of fill in like that front little part of my lid, because I want really just this bottom diagonal corner to be that other shimmer. So just kind of lightly adding more and blending that. That is such a cool color. I love a purpley yellow kind of combination, and this is just such a fun take on that with like the berry pinkish purple with this like weird gold. That's very cool. It's such an interesting shade because sometimes it's very yellow gold and sometimes it's a little more like dandelion looking, like a little more muted. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna take that Rose Orchid shade now, that more purpley berry tone shimmer. This is a Fantasy Cosmetica E06. I'm just going to kind of pop that down here in that lower part of my lid. And now you do gotta be a little careful in this situation because purple and yellow are opposites on the color wheel. They're complementary, so they look great next to each other, but they don't necessarily blend into like a perfect in-between color because they're far apart. But with shimmers, you can kind of just tap it and fake it. And because this is such a pinky toned purple, you can kind of get away with it, but just something to note. Just some little color theory stuff for you. But I'm just gonna blend that edge again. This is so cool, I love that. So I'm thinking, I'm just so attracted to all the shimmers. So I'm thinking, what if I use Serene Spirit in the inner corner, but I do pop some of this one, Petals, on the lower lash line? I just need it. I need it in my life. I'm gonna take that Blend Bunny brush from before. I just wiped it off. And I'm gonna pop some of Petals, that cutie pink, on that lower lash line in the front, just for some extra sparkle and a way for me to use another shimmer. Because these colors are just so pretty. I can see it now. This is going to be in my spring favorites. Mark my words. And I'm going to take that Serene Spirit now. This is just a Singe brush. I'm going to highlight the inner corner with that. Oh, that is so pretty. I thought about doing a graphic liner with this, but I feel like it's just really good by itself. I don't think I want to add anything into that crease because I really just like the moment that it's having on its own. But I do need some face crystals. I was thinking, you know, what do I want actually? I might go into this one, this Amazon set, and I might just take some of the very light pink ones and just pop them in the inner corners to go with that inner corner. I think that'll be cute. Maybe in my brow bone as well. But let's just start with the inner corner and see how I like it. Just gonna pop some lash glue. See how that goes. You know what? I like that. I think just the teeny accent of sparkle is all I really want and need. I like that. Okay, threw on my mascara, just the Glossier one, and I used an eye pencil. This is Verve from Lethal. I just felt like the soft pink to kind of greenish gold shift kind of flattered that lid a little bit, so I went with that. And then for lips, I kind of just want a soft pink today. So I'm going to start with Rosewood Pencil from Lawless. I'm just going to, well, first I'm going to sharpen this because this is a bit dull. Now I'm going to line. Just gonna kind of line and lightly fill in a little bit. I love this color. I reach for this pencil all the time. It's just such a good color. And I already like this with the eyes a lot. And I want to use a lipstick also from Lawless. This one's the shade Femme, just kind of like a soft pink. I'm just gonna go to town with that. It's so cute. I like that color. That is such a good combo. Here is how the third look turned out. I just think it came out so pretty. I love this balance of these tones. I love just how pretty these shimmers are. I love the way all these different pinky tones are playing together. It is just so good. I'm very happy with it. I'm gonna zoom us out so I can give you my thoughts so far on all of them. Thank you so much for being here and for hanging out and for watching. I just had a great time. I thought all of these palettes were so much fun to play with, and I just loved how drastically different all three of the looks were. So let's start back at the beginning, the What the Fox. I already mentioned it, but I stand by it. I just love this one. This is my favorite one of the mini palette series that they've done so far. I just love these tones. I love the foxy theme. It's just all very cute. I really enjoy Ensley Reign's quality. I feel like the mattes just blend really nicely. They're very pigmented. And the shimmers are just all so shifty, eye-catching, so pretty. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this one. And I feel like this mini palette series was just such a good idea because I know there's so many of you who want to try this brand but don't want to pay the like higher price tag for the bigger palettes, which I completely understand. So this is more of a way to kind of try the brand out without spending as much money. The Tales of Terror from Wicked Widow Beauty. I'm just so in love with this. I think it is so pretty. I'm very, very impressed with the quality. The tones are just everything. Again, I love a Halloween palette. I love a spooky theme, and this is just perfect. It's literally probably one of my favorite Halloween palettes I've ever used. I just think it is absolutely gorgeous, especially for those classic autumn and Halloween vibes. Definitely hits the nail on the head. I think these shimmers were so beautiful to work with, and the mattes blended like a freaking dream. I'm really excited to continue diving into this one. I feel like this is gonna be a favorite for many years to come. And last but not least, the Unity. I'm so happy I have this in my life now. It's so pretty. I've been eyeing it for such a long time. I mean, ever since it launched, and I'm so happy it's here now. These different shimmers are just everything. I feel like Adept shimmers are definitely where the brand shines. The mattes are good too, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm really happy with how all of my crease work and blending turned out, but their shimmers are so show-stopping. So pretty. There's so much you can do with this one, and I'm just feeling very excited about it. All three of these palettes truly were such a fun time to work with. I was really happy with my makeup all the days that I worked with these palettes. I feel like I'm just so in tune with what I like in makeup, so then when it comes down to me trying things out, I'm usually a pretty happy camper, but it's just because I know what I like, and these palettes were no exception. These were all very top tier, great palettes to work with. I would love to hear your thoughts though. Do you have any of these? Do you want any of these? I would love to know down below. If you made it to the end of this video, out of these three palettes, pick your favorite and leave emojis to represent that palette. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, if you want to, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. And if you want to, you can join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. Also, I would love for you to hop over to my second channel, also linked in my description box if you want some additional content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.